Hey everybody, how is it going today? Well, in this video, I want to go over Globalstar Incorporated, ticker symbol GSAT. This stock is exploding higher, but it's starting to pull back a little bit today. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the current price action and where I think it could be going. Plus, as always, I have a couple other nice-looking charts that could present some very good tradable opportunities, so stick around for those as well. Now, if you're new to my channel, I like to find short-term and long-term trading opportunities in typically lower-priced stocks. Not only will I talk about the featured stock in the video, but I also try to present at least a couple other nice-looking tradable opportunities that are happening currently in the market. So if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss any future trading ideas. But please remember, I am not a financial advisor, so please do all of your own research before buying any of these stocks. All right, well, I'm going to jump right into the price action. This is the daily chart of Globalstar Incorporated, ticker symbol GSAT. Now, this one was first pointed out to me by Julie on YouTube, and I have since had several other questions, and I believe the guys in the Patreon group were talking about this one as well. For some reason, my software did not pull this stock out. Normally, I have a pretty good scan for these bullish flag formations. This is the bullish flag. Let me zoom out just a little bit here. This is what we call a bullish flag if you're not familiar with it, and these are very predictive patterns. They're easy to trade because all you do is buy them or sell them once they break out of this consolidation, and then there's a good possibility that you get a huge move. I mean, obviously this stock was moving up, so the next logical move should be to the upside. So when you see one of these bullish flag formations, that is the market lobbing one over the plate to you. Now, these patterns aren't guaranteed to have explosions, but you're much more, you have a much higher possibility of hitting a home run when a guy lobs it over the plate to you versus when somebody's throwing a 99-mile-an-hour fastball at you high and tight. So when you see these kind of patterns, you want to try to take advantage of them. And, man, I don't know why my software did not pull out. I mean, sometimes the software, if you guys have ever written any scan for softwares, you know that you can't get too precise with it because then you'll screen out a lot of stuff. But if it's too loose in the code, then you'll get a lot of stuff that really doesn't resemble that pattern. So it's kind of a fine art when you're writing this kind of code to bring out these patterns for you. But anyway, let's get right to today's price action. As we can see, it is pulling back. You know, it's down about 10% at the moment. This is intraday, by the way, so it's going to fluctuate. But for the most part, this stock is holding right up near the highs. So this kind of a day isn't nothing to get too upset about. I know in this market, you know, when you expect everything to go up every single day, and you expect it to go up 25% every single day, but that is not reality, even though I know lately it is. But let's actually go intraday a little bit. Let me get rid of these lines. Let's go intraday and take a closer look at what's going on right now so we can get a better view of what could be coming in the future. Okay, well, this is the 15-minute chart, and you know, if we look back just a couple of days, we can see how nice that was when it broke above this recent resistance area, pulled back just a little bit, and then got right back above the 8-period exponential moving average and just had that nice explosion up. Now, if we look at the current price action, we can see that it is forming a little bit of another bullish flag at the moment. This is the 15-minute chart, so we need a little bit more information than just this. But we can see that the volume is tapering off, and that's exactly what you want to see if you're going to look for the potential of another move to the upside. I mean, we need more than 1 day of price action, but if we start to get one of these type of moves where it starts to go sideways and then you start seeing those lows start to rise, you know you can look for that signal, this little signal right here, to get back on board that trend. I mean, that's if you're swing trading like I am. I mean, if you are, you know, trading for the long term, then that's just more confirmation that you made the right move. But I like to catch this part of the move right here if I can. I'm honestly not interested in this part of the move because it really doesn't make you any money. This move is necessary to set up for this move, but I would rather not participate in this if I don't have to. But that's just the way that I look at it. You know, A lot of people don't like to swing trade. A lot of people just like to day trade. But this is how I like to trade. And if you do like to swing trade, you should definitely look at these type of patterns because they will certainly improve your trading. But let's jump. Let me get this stuff out of here. Let's jump right back to the daily chart one more time. Okay, now that we're back at the daily chart, I want to back it up just a little bit more just to show you guys once again what to look for before you get these big explosive moves. Go back in time just a hair, and you can see all of the volume that was starting to come into this stock that was well above, and some of them are just barely above that um, moving average of the last 50 days. This white line that I have on the chart, by the way, I don't know if I've mentioned that before, but this is just the average of the last 50 trading days. So you see how you get this little bit of a bump up because it's taken into account these two big spikes. But you can see it had a lot of green days that were above the moving average. And if we go forward just a little bit more, we can see as the volume starts to pour back into it, we get that big explosion up. But if I had to make a price prediction for this one in the coming days, I would be interested to see how it reacts around this 8-period exponential moving average. This has been a pretty good move up, so it wouldn't surprise me at all if it did break that moving average at least for a day or two, and maybe come down to this support area right around $1, back where they had the other flag formation. And I would like to see it come down to this area and potentially start making another nice consolidation, building up for the next move up. But, that all depends on how it ends today. I think today's price action probably should end, probably around $1.30, I would guess. I mean, this is just a total guess, but just looking at the way that it has not sold off too heavy as of yet makes me think that it's probably going to close near the high of the day, and we might get a little bit more downward action in the next couple of days. But again, that is just my guess on the way the price action is forming right now. We'll have to check back in another couple of days and see how it consolidates. If this thing continues to consolidate near the highs, that is a very good sign for a continuation to a move up. But let's get into the next one. All right, well, the next one I want to talk about is Wide Point Corporation, ticker symbol WYY. And this one was actually pointed out to me by some of the guys in the Patreon group. So I appreciate them pointing this one out to me. But if it doesn't work out, it's your fault. No, I'm just kidding. I actually took a position in this one today at $12.21, making an absolutely beautiful bullish flag at the moment. I jumped the gun on this one just a little bit because it pulled back down to the 8-period exponential moving average, and I'm thinking that it looks pretty good for a coming breakout. So I'm going to jump in just a little bit early on this one because the market is strong, and I think this one might be getting a breakout to the upside. But this one did have a reverse split. If we look down here, had a reverse split of 1-4-10 recently, and I typically don't like to get involved with stocks that have had a recent reverse split. But this pattern looks very bullish, and another reason why I wanted to get involved, here's another big reason, because volume is just starting to pour into this stock. But if we back the chart out, if you're familiar with my channel, you know I like long sideways patterns before you get that move up, and we can see that WYY has basically trended sideways ever since late 2015, early 2016. So I mean, this stock has had it's been a little bit of a sloppy base, but I mean, it's went sideways plenty long enough for a lot of accumulation to have taken place to have set the foundation for the stock to have a potential move up. So this is a much longer base than normal, so that is definitely a bonus in this chart. And I'm going to put my stop loss under $11.49. Let me go intraday a little bit, and I'll show you a little bit more why I liked this pattern so much. All right, well, this is the 15-minute chart, and as we can see, you can get a much better look at this triangle consolidation we got going on at the moment. Another reason why I wanted to get in at that price point is because this 200-period simple moving average was rising into that area as well. So let me see if I can draw this just a little clearer here. But this is the triangle. You know, this pattern is very easy to see when you go intraday. You can see that it's starting to congest even tighter and is putting pressure on both of these trend lines. I am going to put my stop pretty tight, right under this support area right here. So we got a touch here, and we got a couple of touches here, and that's actually where it took off from before, after that brief consolidation. So I'm going to risk down to $11.49, and hopefully we can catch a break up into the $14 to $15 area pretty soon, because this pattern is getting quite tight, and should get a move out of it one way or the other, and I am hoping it's going to be to the upside. But let's get into the next one. All right, the next one I want to show you guys is USWS. I talked about this on a couple of videos, and I talked about how it was starting to come out of this rounding bottom formation, but I wanted to see it hold these moving averages and start making a constructive pattern. It looks like it is finally starting to do so. Had that big move up on huge volume, so that's more accumulation coming in. We can see all this accumulation over the last 8 or 9 months coming into this stock, and had the big move up. It had the sell-off into the 8-period exponential moving average, and it looks like it's starting to gain momentum again. This is intraday, and it's already well above the 50-day average of volume that it normally gets. So USWS looks like it is a prime candidate to be starting its move up. Let's go intraday real quick. All right, well, this is the 15-minute chart of USWS. I'm going to try to keep these videos a little short. I've been droning on just a little bit too long, guys, so I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time. But this one is jumping above the 8-period exponential moving average, and it's starting to hold it. You know, we had that big move up, had the nice sideways consolidation, and if we zoom in a little bit to get a better feel of where this trend could be heading, you know, you want to jump in early, or intraday to like the 15-minute chart, or I don't know, maybe you want to look at the 5-minute chart. I just prefer the 15-minute chart and the hourly chart when I go intraday. I know a lot of people like to use the 30-minute and the 5-minute, so use whatever you're comfortable with. But I find that I get a little bit better of a signal when I wait for that consolidation to break. I don't want just any break above the 8-period exponential moving average. You got to have a pretty good break, and it's got to hold for at least 3 bars afterwards, and then start to move up again before I really get interested. Because a lot of these could be false breaks, just like this one. You notice how I had the stiff break over the 8-period exponential moving average, and it immediately faded back down into it, and there was no strength behind it. And this consolidation was a little bit too early, so I would be skeptical of this move anyway. But now that it's went longer for a few more days, boom, back above the 8-period exponential moving average. And at the moment, it is starting to break below it, so it wants to make a liar out of me, but that is not a big deal. Hopefully it can hold above that moving average and start to move higher, because you're going to have some meandering in these 15-minute candles. But USWS looks like it could potentially be starting that next leg up, as it has broken above the 8-period and is starting to trend higher. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, well, the next one I want to show you is Arcimoto, ticker symbol FUV. I know this one is not a penny stock, but I talked about it way back when it was a lower price stock before it had the huge move up. I traded it a couple times earlier in the year, and I wish I would have just bought and held this one, because this one has had a monster run, but you don't know that till after the fact. But anyway, it is starting to round up and looks like it is poised to explode to a new high. FUV and all of the other smaller EV type stocks are starting to gain momentum. I've been noticing they've been showing up on some of my scans, so it looked like these smaller EV type stocks have already, or are just about to the end of completing their consolidation type pattern, and they're starting to build momentum again. So I think this industry group is going to be in play in the next week or two, especially if they can start breaking out again. They could be the next hot one for the next couple of weeks. So these EV stocks are definitely one worth keeping an eye on, and maybe even getting in a little bit early now if this momentum continues. But I just wanted to point out FUV, even though it is a little bit more of an expensive stock. Let's get into the next ones. All right, well, before I end this video, I just want to go over a few of the stocks that I've been talking about in the past several videos. I was talking about BIOL coming down to this 8-period exponential moving average, and that would be a pretty decent entry point. And as we can see, it's getting that move off of that moving average, and today they actually had a high of about $1.21 or so, even though it's pulled back about 10 cents or so. But it's still up 15% on the day, give or take. So a nice swing trade to the upside. If any of you guys caught that when the stock was pulling back to that 8-period exponential moving average. Let's take a look at RWLK. Talked about this one a few videos ago, and this one is having a very nice move to the upside. It's up 34% at the moment. I still have some of my old drawings left on this chart from when I did the video before. Unfortunately, I did not buy any of this one. Just can't buy every single one. You know, we've been seeing a lot of these nice looking patterns in the market. You know, unfortunately, I do not have the capital to buy every single one of them. And honestly, I don't want too many positions anyway, because they can be a little bit harder to manage when, at least for me anyway, when I have too many open positions. But very nice looking pattern. If you're not familiar with this pattern, this is one you definitely want to get familiar with and learn how to trade, because this will certainly help you stay consistently profitable, because it's just a very predictive pattern with you could put a tight stop loss on it, and this is your potential upside, and just right down here so is your potential loss. So your risk reward is always nice with these type of patterns. That's what I look for in a pattern, by the way, is just a pretty substantial reward versus the risk. I like to get at least 2 to 3 times, preferably 3 times the amount that I'm risking. You know, it doesn't always go up that high, but if you get these type of patterns, like when they finally do break through, it's almost like, you know, when you got your hand over, you got your thumb over the mouth of the Coke bottle, and you shake it up, and once you take your thumb off, you know, you get that move up higher. That's what this this pressure is right here. That's why a lot of times you see this move up, because the buyers and sellers, they're starting to put more pressure on each other. Like the sellers are starting to run out while the demand is still there, and then once the sellers do run out, a lot of times you will get that big move to the upside. But just a great pattern. And RWLK is working out very good. Let's go to LPCN. LPCN is having the same explosive move to the upside. It's up about almost 10% at the moment, but it's a very nice looking pattern. You got the lows that are starting to rise up, puts pressure on that resistance area, hugs that 8-period exponential moving average, and then pops out of the pops through that resistance area. So LPCN looking super good at the moment. And last one I want to talk about is also in the beginning stages, a CIDM. Look at CIDM. It is exploding through this 200-period simple moving average. It's up today about 18% at the moment, so it's a nice move up on CIDM. I am not in this one either. I will potentially look to get into it if it does pull back to this 8-period exponential moving average, which I think there's a good possibility that it will. So I'll be watching for CIDM, but you can see the nice volume that's pouring into this stock the last 3 days, and of course the nice volume that happened about a month or so ago. So a lot of accumulation going on in CIDM, and it is a very nice looking chart pattern at the moment. All right, guys, well, that's all I have for this one. But if you have any questions or comments on any of these stocks, please don't hesitate to leave them down there in the comment section, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed the content, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so you don't miss any future trading opportunities. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end, and until next time, take care, everybody.